it's absolutely fine for you, but you must leave me out of it. I don't want to be told that I have to obey these laws too, or that my children have to be taught this in school, or that laws have to be written to ratify it. Because every time I open the paper, there's another instance of theocratic encroachment on free society, which I won't put up with. Because if that were true, it would mean that I had an eternal supervising parent who would never die and let me get on with my life, never let me grow up.
In order to be Christian, you have to believe that for 98,000 years, our species suffered and died, most of its children dying in childbirth, most other people having a life expectancy, bitterness, war, suffering, misery, all of that for 98,000 years. Heaven watches it with complete indifference. And then 2,000 years ago thinks, that's enough of that. It's time.
Now, I am absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion.
What all monotheists are told to do, and admire the man who said, yes, I'll gut my kid to show my love of God, I'd say, no, fuck you.
Who can create us sick, as apparently we are, and then order us on pain of eternal torture to be well again. I mean to say it infects us in our most basic integrity. It says we can't be moral without Big Brother, without a totalitarian. It means we can't be good to one another. It means we can't think without this. We must be afraid. I say this is evil.
I think it should be, religion, treated with ridicule and hatred and contempt.
Right.
It is a horrible idea that there is somebody who owns us, who makes us, who supervises us, waking and sleeping, who knows our thoughts, who can convict us of thought crime, who can do thought crime, just for what we think. Was true, it would have two further implications. It would have to mean that the designer of this plan was unbelievably lazy and inept, or unbelievably callous. Insulted and outraged every day by what we see and what we read. By slaughter and murder. Slaughter and murder and barbarism and insult, we do not reply in kind. We don't say, we'll go and kill you if you go on insulting us like this. Do we get no credit for saying this? Say it in the presence of His grace, and I say it to His face. The preachings of His church are responsible for the death and suffering and misery of millions of His brother and sister.
Another immoral injunction. Go love your own enemies, don't be loving mine. My enemies are the theocratic fascists. I don't love them, I want to destroy them.
You're a child made in the image of God. Oh no, you're not. You're a faggot. And you can't join your church and you can't go to heaven. This is disgraceful. It's inhuman.